Everyday patriarchy, everyday patriarchal system, everyday misogynistic. If you've seen any of these feminists on TikTok, share their opinions or just, lament, one thing you will find is that they seem quite angry, they seem quite crazy.
Popular Nigerian skit maker Maraji is calling out TikTok feminists out. Let's talk about it. Hey beautiful people, how you all doing today? It's your girl Destiny here and welcome to my channel. How have you all been? Hope you guys are doing great. So today's video, there's this entire conversation of TikTok feminists. So a popular Nigerian skit maker Maraji is trending and a lot of people have so much to say. So she went on TikTok to call out TikTok feminists, talking about how TikTok feminists are nothing but women that just hate men. And she also went on to talk about how younger girls, how they're advising younger girls, and how younger girls should be very careful to women, to these toxic feminists that are hating men and they go under the disguise of being a feminist. So this has caused her, like she has a couple of things to say, which I agree with some of the things she said, while some of the things I'm just like, girl, really? Anyway, guys, let's go check out our video, people's reaction to it, which is very insightful. I'll need you guys to watch it to the end, and then I'll come back and share my thoughts.
Everyday patriarchy, everyday patriarchal system, everyday misogynistic. If you've seen any of these feminists on TikTok, share their opinions or just, lament, one thing you will find is that they seem quite angry, they seem quite crazy. I feel like there are two extremes when you look at some of these videos from these feminists on TikTok. One is that you think that these opinions are baseless. Basically, you think that these women are just out of touch, they are just crazy. That's an extreme to me, because if you are in touch with society, how every day on the pulpit is one sermon or the other about submission and barely any accountability when it comes to what leadership entails. What does it entail? What does it mean to die for your bride? There's not been a lot of seminars about that conversation, and so you just leave men thinking that provision or financial benefit is the only thing a man can offer, especially in today's world where women are also offering financial benefits. I mean, most of you, your mothers were not sitting at home. Your mothers were working. My mother was hardworking. In a society where women are still having to shave their heads off, having to still drink concoctions just because their husband died and they're trying to prove innocence, this madness that you claim is not baseless. Another extreme is thinking that these women are fighting for feminism. That's a lie. That's a bloody lie. They hate men. At this point, they just cannot stand men, to the point that their feminism has nothing to do with women. They would fight a woman just to prove how much they hate a man. It's no longer a thing where, like, wait to be that. Wait to be feminism. Wait to the color. Equality how? No, men should be trampled under their feet. Let them walk on men, trample them, squeeze them, draw blood. If you think that these women are normal, they are sane, you lie. You lie. Most of them, they don't go far. But the problem I have, and the concern that, or the reason why I'm making this video basically, is for the young girls. It's for the girls that see this type of content and they swallow it and they engage with it severely. And they think that truly there's something wrong with all men. I will always say this: nobody fear man past man. Nobody. The problem is not a man, the problem is evil men. I've watched many countless videos where I'll see a man harassing a woman and a man go still save that woman. As a woman, me and you fellow women, we are eye to eye. You know for a fact that they get some kind of women will be say, you know that this is the weapon fashion against me. You will experience a man and you'll be like, oh, this was very easy, this was very seamless. But women, now they go show you paper pass. So what do we say then? Who is stopping your growth as a woman? Is it just because he's a man? Everybody just decrease, everybody just talk anything we want, so freedom of speech. But you as a human being, they collect time with discretion.
Just came across Maraji's video, the one she titled TikTok Feminist, and you know what, up to reach a point where we say this, we cannot tolerate. While I agree that evil has no gender, I have a question. Isn't it enough to be angry that every day you come online, the most heinous crimes are committed by men? A 6-month-old baby is... A man kills his member over an argument. A man will kill his wife because what? He claims she doesn't respect him. And on the other hand, the system is literally bending over for men and giving them doggy. The system caters for men, and then you have pastors preaching submission in churches, pretending like things are not going on in their families, pretending like abuse is not a thing. Isn't it enough to be angry? Isn't it enough to be angry that the only time men find their voices is when women are talking about their concerns, but they try to fake balance? Isn't it enough to be angry that these TikTok feminist trend cases that the society, the government is actually supposed to be looking into before you celebrities remember to repost, remember to talk about it? A lot of feminists are literally married and actively dating, yet they hate men. A man literally came online to say, as a man, born girl picking because of old age. Isn't it enough to be angry, knowing that a lot of us, that is our reality? No, tell me, in a world where an average man is a proven threat, do your findings. Isn't it enough to be a misandrist? You say not every man is evil. Okay, so how do you know a good man? Hello? I'm guessing you have to first date him, trust him, and then hope that you don't get in the news. You don't become a headline. How about the others that get hurt by their own family members, attacked on the road, minding their businesses? And it's also quite sad that all you could take out for feminism is how women hate men and how your mother was contributing financially in the relationship. Like, come 2026, let us learn to live some conversations, to be very honest, because I don't know how you thought you ate when you ate abacha. What does anybody even mean by TikTok feminists? Make it make sense. There are platforms that people excel better, people do better. You know, with that being said, wanna buy.
So Maraji made a video this morning talking about TikTok feminists, and you guys are not happy. You guys are going in on her comments, and the thing is, I completely agreed with the first part of her video, and the second part of her video, I sort of kind of agree, but she could have worded it a little better. Because we have to understand that as women, when we are using the same words that these men use, they're literally invalidating this feminism movement. They're invalidating a lot of people's experiences. We like to talk about angry feminists, angry feminists. Why is nobody pointing and shining the light on the feminists that are doing the Lord's work? Why is nobody shining the light on the people that are saving women from miserable marriages, saving them from domestic, saving them from abuse, finding shelters for them, giving them food that the husband will not provide? Nobody sets their camera to talk about these things. And I don't understand you guys. Since we want to talk about the angry feminists, let's talk about it. We have to understand that there's still a difference between feminism and misandry. Misandry, yeah, you want to label them anti-men. So what? Let them be anti-men. Must every woman on this earth like a man? Must every woman on this earth cater to men? And I'm saying this as somebody that like men. What's the issue? I don't even understand why the men, they be in such an uproar. They want everyone to be at their beck and call. There's a lot of women, a lot of pick-me women that is available for you guys. I was listening in on a live yesterday, and I was hearing the stories, things that women do for men. And I'm like, for free? Ha! Y'all really like men. It's crazy. It's wild out here. We want to talk about misandries. How about we ask, okay, why are you angry? What happened to you? Something must have traumatized them. Me that's married, I would never look down on somebody that say they don't like men. I don't know the experience this person have with men. And the video I posted about women ending up in psych wards, if you see what men are doing to women, I'm not sure what the obsession with infantilizing men and coddling their feelings come from, but I will say it before and I'll say it again. Misandry has not even contributed to 1/100th of what patriarchy and misogyny has done to women in society, how it has damaged women in society. So even Maraji, in your video, you used a lot of extreme examples talking about the shaving of the head to prove a woman has to prove her innocence. Is that not enough to be angry? Is that not enough to be upset? Is that not enough to set camera and say, you man, you know, da 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 da? Listen, I follow, whether you want to tag them as extreme feminists or whatever. Sometimes when they make their posts, I just, I laugh. Some of them I engage, some of them I don't engage. What is the problem? What's the big deal? Again, whether you are a married woman, whether you are a single lady or a pick-me-sha, I don't think Maraji is a pick-me. I follow her content for a while. Her content never gave pick-me. But as women in general, I think when we are using certain words, even if we disagree with some things that feminists are doing, be careful with the words that you are using, because when you use the same words that the men are using to invalidate this movement, it hurts. It does hurt, because you are joining the men to make a mockery of what is going on in real life. And mind you, this is the same system that we women benefit from. So it's kind of crazy to hear when a woman is using the word bitter, angry, extreme. Oh, that one is far gone. We just have to be careful. That's all.
I don't know why they say that feminism and anger cannot go well together. Feminism and anger go well together because feminism was birthed from anger, and our anger was birthed from a desire to change things. Do not let Nigerian misogynists and misogynists generally and pick-me women convince you that you're not supposed to be that angry when you are advocating for change. You are in fact supposed to be that angry because anger is recorded as defiance and rebellion, which is exactly what has gotten women to this point that we are at right now. Nobody got anything by being soft to men or to the system. Matter of fact, the women who were soft, like our mothers, they remained oppressed and abused and misused. It's women who were bold enough to go against oppression, and they were angry enough to believe that they deserve half of what men already have. Those are the women that changed the system. Those are the women that birthed waves of feminism. Do not let these stupid Nigerian women who want to so badly be under men convince you that your anger is out of place and their softness is what is supposed to be the norm. When a man or when a woman tells you to be soft, they are telling you to conform. They are telling you don't let your voice be too loud. They are telling you your anger should not be more visible than your desire to please. That is what they are telling you, and they are stupid for saying that. So if you want to truly be a feminist, you cannot be liberal about your feminism. You can't be soft about your feminism because feminism and softness don't go together. In fact, that softness is what feminism fights. Feminism wants women strong and independent of any kind of control. Your softness will leave you privy to control. Now, am I saying that because you're a feminist, you should not be loving and kind to the people who deserve it? That's not what I'm saying. The fact that I have to give this particular disclaimer shows that you are male-centered, because I don't know why you would reject feminism because it will cause you to be mean to men. I don't know why you are considering the heart and the feelings of men when men have never considered yours. You say that you're stupid, but that's aside. Anyway, back to what I was saying. To cause change is to be angry, is to completely hate the patriarchy. To cause change, it's not enough to want change. To actually cause it, there has to be a bubbling, deep bubbling well of anger in your soul. Does this mean you'll be randomly violent to people? No, but you will keep violence and you would exert violence if need be. That is the way of feminism. That is the way of the feminists before us. They weren't going around people, but when it was time for them to use their voices, they weren't scared. And if you want to be soft, there will be a fear that comes with softness that you don't need if you're a feminist. And feminism being the baseline of anything and everything, you can be misandrist, you can be any kind of feminist, but you must agree that you adhere to feminism and its rules. And you cannot be soft while doing it, because softness is what men want, and softness is what has fed the patriarchy for centuries, and it will continue to feed the patriarchy. That's why when women are angry, men are like, calm down, I beg. Softness. And you're the one making it easy for them because you're dumb as
Nigerian comedy content creator decided to chime in on feminism and her frustration with feminism. And so let us watch her views on extreme feminism, and I'll be right back.
Another extreme is thinking that these women are fighting for feminism. That's a lie. That's a bloody lie.
First of all, it is disrespectful to attribute women who practice what you call extreme feminism. It is disrespectful to address them as insane and that they hate men. And if the feminists you describe hate men, don't they have a justifiable reason? Perhaps you do not know. Every 10 minutes, a woman or a girl across the world is killed by a man, be it a man in their family or an intimate partner. Every 10 minutes, implying that every day 137 girls and women are killed. In 2024, it was reported that about 50,000 girls and women were killed by men, and these could be men in their family or intimate partners. I am originally from Ghana, but people would tell you that I speak a lot on gender-based discrimination and gender-based issues in Nigeria on my platform. Every day on this app in Nigeria, a woman have been by her husband, her boyfriend, a girlfriend has been dismembered, a child has been. All these issues of kidnapping and the kidnapping of girls. Who is doing it? Men. So what do you mean by, oh, it is not all men, it is just some evil men? Do you know how pervasive gender-based violence is in Nigeria? Do you know that it is women and girls that are victims of gender-based violence, and majority of the time the perpetrators of these crimes are men? Let us look at some data on gender-based violence in Nigeria according to The Guardian. About 10,326 reported cases of gender-based violence have been reported in Nigeria between January and September because of the patriarchal nature of the Nigerian police force. We don't even want to talk about the many cases that are not reported when it comes to gender-based violence. Beyond gender-based violence, another rising problem in Nigeria and globally is technology facilitated gender-based violence. And that is why my profile picture has the orange background, because the United Nations launched a digital gender-based violence because the victims of cyber attacks and cyberbullying are mainly girls and women. According to the Guardian report on technology facilitated gender-based violence, 45% of women in Nigeria who are in public roles have experienced cyber stalking. So when you come online and you reduce feminism to, oh, a woman was not nice to you, a woman blocked your opportunity to get something done, and you say that is not feminism, it shows that you do not have the knowledge and you've not engaged in enough critical literature for you to even speak on feminism. Feminism is addressing patriarchy, and patriarchy is a system that benefits all men. So feminism is tackling patriarchy and other forms of systems and structures that are barriers, serve as barriers to gender equity. I am going to conclude by saying this with respect. It will be difficult for African women who are married, who are consistently sleeping with men, who are engaged in building a family with men. It will be difficult for such women to decenter men and to understand feminism and the harmful nature of patriarchy, especially if that woman is in a marriage where she believes that her partner, her husband, is a decent man. It will be difficult for such women to understand feminism and how patriarchy impacts women. Dear Nigerian women and dear African women who do not identify as feminists, understand that feminism is focused on tackling systemic inequalities and structural inequalities. The fact that you have a husband who is nice to you, or you know men who are nice to women, does not discount the fact that all of us women come under the oppressive hands of patriarchy, because patriarchy is a system and all women are oppressed by the system. And that is what feminism is seeking to tackle: systemic inequalities, structural inequalities, and structural discrimination. This year has been exhausting for feminists, and the level of hate that feminists have gotten on TikTok, especially from some Nigerian women. My name is Dr. Zida. I am a sociologist. I am a TikTok feminist. If you're not following, guess what? Hit the follow button.
Whew, this conversation, I need to take a deep breath because I'm fired up. I'm ready to talk and all that. But anyway, guys, you guys let me know what you guys think about this conversation down. Anyway, guys, go down in the comment section, share your thought. Love to know what you guys think about this conversation down in the comment section. But as always, please keep it respectful, okay? Here in this channel, we're allowed to disagree, but do it in a very respectful way. So go ahead, feel free, share your thought. Love to know what you guys think. Okay, now, where do I start from? Everything Dr. Z said, that which is the last creator, I totally agree with a lot of the things she's saying. And I like the fact that she stated some statistics that is happening, and the fact that And I do understand why Maraji will come. Like the first part of her video kind of makes sense because some of the extreme things that my society, my country puts women through. I'm going to, like I always say, I'll speak about my country because that's where I'm from. But I know this is kind of relative to a lot of places around the world and even in the continent Africa. Um, of how if a man dies, the wife is being her hair will be shaved, she'll be given the watch his dead body. They'll watch his dead body, give it to her to drink so that she will prove that she's not the one that killed this man. And when death is the only thing that God ever promised us when we're coming to this life, that's the one thing that was sure that we're all going to die. But apparently, my society, when someone's died, somebody killed the person, and they always find somebody to blame it on. And especially when it's a man, usually they say it's the wife, even if this man died of natural causes or illness or something. And someone like Maraji is here talking about why are Nigeria women angry. And I know like there's this new wave that is coming on, and I'm so excited and I'm so happy that I'm also part of it, of women in my country, of a Nigeria black African woman that is speaking up and standing up for women and opening other women eyes to see what is really out there and how the world does not play fair with us, especially as women. And with this example of the man died and the wife shaved hair and all that, is that not enough reason for a woman not to be able to stand a man? And when she come on to talk about how TikTok feminism, they are just angry, they are just wicked, and that is not all men. This is the same talking point a lot of men use. But how many of these men as intentionally go out there to talk to those evil men, those bad men, to call them in order? Rather, they will say it's the woman to choose better. And there's this thing that is happening in a place in the place where I grew up in Delta State. I'm a Delta girl. I grew up in Delta State. And there was a time, and I don't know if that thing is still going on. If anybody's watching here this video and they are in Delta or ever, please let me know if this is still going on. Of where girls are not allowed to wear normal leggings, like leggings you wear, normal leggings you wear. Girls are not allowed to wear leggings because when they do, they tell you that you're trying to seduce men, you're trying to steal people's husbands. So when they see a girl wearing leggings or wearing a biker short, the short one, they will, the men in the community will start flogging her. Like they will beat her mercilessly, not because she steal, not because she touched anybody, killed anybody, but they will physically abuse her. And you're wondering why Nigerian women are waking up and they're angry and they don't want, they're so-called angry with men. When the same men in the same that society where women are not allowed to wear leggings are beating their wife every day, are emotionally, mentally, physically, financially abusing their wife, even sometimes unaliving these women, and nothing is done to them. And you wonder why women are angry, why they are just bitter, why they just hate men. When the entire system that we live in does not even favor us as women. Because you have the privilege to, in your own mind, you're happy with your life. That does not mean a lot of women out there are happy with their life. That does not mean a lot of women out there are being abused by the men they know, their husband, their father, their brother. And this same woman cannot stand men, and you are like, they just hate men. Let's even come back. Let's talk about generally in the world. Look at the world today. Every war that has ever been instigated, which of them was started by a woman? Hmm? When you say, and also remember when we did the if a bear or when women say they'll pick the bear over a man, and when they tell men that they will give them the bare over did you. What did they do? Because a lot of men understand how dangerous men are. A lot of men will see their wife, their sisters walk out and say, be careful, not for anything, just because of another man. And you say, not all men. Not all men, the few good ones, what are they doing with it? How are they trying to fix it? Where an average young woman is scared to walk on the street because she's scared that a man may abuse her. Do you know how many cases alone this year of men that unalive their girlfriend, their wife? Do you know how many stories I have even shared on this page of men that were physically abusive to their women? And this is why, like, when we talk about feminism or when we talk about women standing up and women, it's the same feminism that helped you, that made you to be able to have a voice. I remember growing up, my mom cannot even wear trouser because her husband said so. We're free to do whatever we want as women because there were women that paid the price. There were women that were speaking up. There were women that were educated. And then talking about the younger girls and saying that, oh, younger girls should be careful listening to these TikTok feminists that hate men. Because people are sharing their story, people are being honest. And I feel like this is a new awakening for Nigeria women. And like I said in the beginning, I'm super excited to be part of it because we will continue speaking up. If you are, and I don't like, do I think Maraji is a pick me? No, but she's a typical Nigeria woman that believe that it not happened to me, so it's okay, then it's fine. But you know what? Someone like me, I will continue to use my platform to share stories about women so that women will continue centering themselves, keep picking themselves, keep choosing themselves over and over again, protect themselves, build a community for themselves, empower themselves rather than to sit down and wait for the good man, for the not all men. Do you know how many women that has been unalive by their partner? You think those women, they saw their partner as evil and yet they put themselves in that way. They didn't see it coming because they will have protected themselves. They will have run to hiding. But it's the same one of those good men that killed them. So when we talk about not all men, how you tell they don't, how will you know not all men? Huh? So I can go on for hours and hours on this, but yeah, let me just drop it here. But yeah, she was wrong. I get where she has a point that, oh, women are yes, and those are those male-centered women. When you see them, you run. Those, and that is the male-centered women talking about, oh, how women are bad to each other. Most of the time, it's the male-centered women. They can't stand women. They can't stand a woman that flourish. And yet there are still some women that have their body, because I feel like if you're a feminist, naturally you just love the energy of a woman. Naturally. Anybody that knows me knows that I'm a girl's girl to the T. Like when I see another woman, it just brings me. So when I see another woman striving, it brings me joy. But those women that they do kitty kitty, well, I know the women she's talking about. Those women that if you even walk to an office, they're giving you eye like this. Those are male-centered women. Those are insecure women that feel like they're in competition with you because they don't understand that we're in this together. Anyway, guys, you guys let me know what you guys think about this conversation down in the comment section. Go ahead, feel free, share your thought. Love to know what you guys think. Share this video with somebody that you want to be part of the conversation, because that's what we do here. We have banging conversations. So go ahead, feel free, share this video. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, smash the like button, because this helps YouTube to push up my content for more people to see, and that'll be you supporting this channel and this guy here. So go on and do that. Subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Deuces.